But, boy, she was very shy.
And Natalie and Aiden were there when I met her, so that also was her comfort zone. But, man, I couldn't tell she was shy for 1 minute.
She catches you taking her picture, she'll, like, look at you and frown at you. It's very funny. Anyway, so, well, maybe next time.
And then, next time.
We'll have Lily.
We'll be ready for you, Lily.
Lieutenant Governor Peter Kinder, long time no talk, my friend. How you doing?
Doing great, Jamie. Thanks for having me back on. Life is good.
Oh, I bet. I mean, I know it was a pretty, you ran a really great governor's primary, and I mean, you're just an awesome guy, and you've been very involved, and you were involved in the presidential election, and so I don't blame you for taking a couple months and just kind of chilling out and figuring out what's going on. But I got to tell you, man, this letter that you all wrote regarding Josh Hawley shows that you guys are serious about this 2018 Senate race.
We're absolutely serious about it. Missouri voters have a great chance, to correct a mistake and remove Claire McCaskill from the United States Senate next year. She should not have been reelected to a second term in 2012, and that's the opportunity voters have. And what we were doing was stepping forward to promote the proven winner, the proven leading vote-getter statewide last year. He led the ticket, and that's Attorney General Josh Hawley. And I'm very hopeful that he will listen to the plea and decide to get in the Senate race. He gets in the Senate race, he wins. It's very simple.
It's interesting. A couple of things I'm curious about in terms of, well, first of all, it's an interesting mix of people because there's you, there's Jane Cunningham, there's Mr. Humphreys, who I know. I mean, a lot of these are, and the other guy who basically owns Branson, so to speak. And then you have Jack Danforth, which, and Jack Danforth is probably, in my opinion, a little more mainstream than, for instance, a Jane Cunningham or a Peter Kinder or whatever. But nonetheless, it was interesting to see his name on that. So it's a really pretty interesting mix of people who signed this letter urging Josh Hawley to run.
Well, that's a good point, Jamie. It is indicative of the broad support throughout the party behind this leader in Josh Hawley. Now, Jack actually knew Josh before any of the rest of us knew Josh.
Oh, okay.
And it goes back to Josh's days at Yale Law School when the very liberal dean of the law school, which was Jack's alma mater, told him about this outstanding young student from Missouri, whom Jack did not know at the time, named Josh Hawley. Josh did very well at Yale Law School, married a Yale Law grad, and they both went down to Washington, D.C., where both clerked for the Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court, Justice Roberts. And then they got married, and he's married to a lovely girl, mother of two young boys, Aaron Hawley. And they just have great pedigree, but Jack has known him for more than a decade, far longer than the rest of us, and has had the similarly high opinion of Josh that we all share.
So if I'm Ann Wagner, Congresswoman Ann Wagner, I'm out there going, hello, don't you all know I've been, what is this a commentary on Congresswoman Wagner?
Not in the least, Josh. Josh and others who read our letter know that we said nothing about any other candidate,
right.
or putative candidate or potential candidate. Look, this is the second interview I've done on this, Jamie, and each time I've been asked about this other candidate, I'm not aware that she has announced. Has she announced?
No. I mean, I think she's been poking around, and that's about it, and raising money. But no, you're right. And I'm not trying to trap you here. I was just interested in that. In what if that letter was saying something that wasn't
not
in
at
the letter?
All.
Okay,
Jamie, we all have a high regard for our entire congressional delegation and the job they're doing in difficult circumstances in D.C.
Right.
But Josh is the proven winner. He has run statewide. He has led the ticket in both the primary and the general. That is not nothing.
Yeah,
he was capable of raising the money for a tough statewide race, and winning his first time out. We look to our south. People say, well, he will have been in office only 2 years. But we look to our south, where a young member of Congress, approximately the same age, named Tom Cotton,
right,
ran in his first 2 years in the U.S. Congress and was handily elected to the United States Senate, where he's serving with enormous distinction.
Yeah.
We want to send a proven winner and a proven conservative leader like Josh Hawley to the U.S. Senate, where he can work in harness with Tom Cotton, Mike Lee, Ted Cruz, and other good conservatives.
Well, let's put it this way. Let's pretend if Ann doesn't run, whatever. Keep in mind, if Josh is running, it also sets up a scenario where if the Democrats pull a surprise, which could possibly happen, that Claire decides not to run, and they try to plug in a Jason Kander or someone like that, at that point, Josh is fully equipped to take on Kander. I mean, if that happens.
Yes, I hope Claire does run.
Yeah.
Because I hope she is forced to defend an indefensible record.
Right.
Missourians have repeatedly voted against Obamacare since 2010. They have repeatedly rejected the agenda that Claire supports. She won under extraordinarily unusual circumstances in 2012. Again, it's time to correct that mistake. And most recently, just last week, Claire was up there filibustering one of the finest Supreme Court nominees in the history of our country.
Right.
Who Missourians wanted confirmed, and that is not to be forgotten. Claire needs to be forced to answer for that.
No doubt. And you know what? Knowing her, she'll